What's up, guys? Dom here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Doing today's daily video. It's pretty late right now, 1:30 in the morning, and I haven't gotten around to doing today's video just yet, but I'm gonna jump right into it. Today we're going to be looking at some of my very first concert photography that I ever did. Concert photography is kind of what got me into photography in general, so these are pretty much some of my first shots ever. So we're going all the way back to 2016. I shot a Mystery Skulls show, and I think this was, if this wasn't the first, this was the second concert that I ever shot. So I went through the pictures and found two shots that I wanted to re-edit and try and see if I can get a bit of a better edit than 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure I can. These edits are pretty terrible. Let's just jump right into the computer, and I'm just gonna kind of edit both of these photos and just kind of talk to you guys about what I'm doing. And all right, so I took two photos out of the set. To be quite honest, most of these pictures were pretty damn terrible. I have to say, they were super grainy, not really well composed, nothing really great going on with them. But I did find these two shots that I thought would be kind of cool to redo, because I do think they're decent shots. They're not the best shots, but I think they're at least cool enough to kind of get a cool edit out of. This is the first shot right here. That's the raw image. So already as it stands, I find it's a decent photo. It's not the best in the world, but something we can work with. A lot of negative space if you look around here, but I'm pretty sure again that we can do something maybe with Photoshop to try and fill things in or add some effects. But then this is the edit that I did in 2016 for this raw photo right here. So not much going on here. Kind of just changed the tint from what it seems like, kind of changed the color of his skin, but everything else seems pretty much the same. The blues kind of changed, but to be honest, I think the blues look better in the raw honestly than they do in the edit. So that's the first one, and then the second one, real quick, honestly I find is pretty hilarious. This is the original. Again, not the greatest photo, but something to work with. And if we look at the edit, I find the edit actually looks worse than the raw. So we're gonna try and go and correct both of these pictures, maybe go through some Photoshop a bit and see what we can do. All right, so let's start with this first one here. Right off the bat, these kind of blues in the pictures I really do not enjoy. So I'm gonna go and try and go through the calibrations and right away change the blues to a more kind of a lighter blue. I find it's a lot more fitting for kind of concert photography. It's gonna shift around his skin tone. So we're gonna maybe switch around skin tones with the reds as well, but we're gonna do some more skin correcting with the rest of the colors afterwards. So doing this kind of took out some of the contrast, so I'm gonna go back up here, maybe turn down the shadows, and actually I want to try and bring the highlights down in general, what they do. So a lot of the work that I do is kind of moving the sliders back and forth and seeing what it does and seeing what I like best. That's what makes, I think, Lightroom really cool to work with, how user-friendly it is. Let me try and change the tint and see what we can get. See, I'm kind of liking this a little bit more too, kind of really getting a second color in this image as opposed to just having the blue. It's gonna make his skin pop a bit more. I'm gonna try and see, maybe raising a bit clarity, maybe dehaze. Dehaze in these photos is kind of cool because it gives a more dreamy look, but I'm not sure I'm feeling it for this. Let me go to the hues and really try and dial in a skin tone that I like. So that's not bad. I'm seeing a lot of grain on the outsides here. More specifically, there's a lot of fog in the back, so that's producing a lot of grain. Let me try and see. I like to do this where I just use a brush for everything that I find that's a bit too grainy, especially when it's just the background. that's got a lot of grain to it. And then bring this back though. And I like to just drag the clarity down. Like so. That's already giving the background a lot more of a cleaner kind of look. So already if we look at the before and the after, pretty big difference. It's still not a great picture though, so I'm really wanting to bring this into Photoshop. Maybe try and see what I can do. Maybe add some effects over there. All right, so bring this back out a bit. For now, I'm going to duplicate the layer, and I just want to do something simple because I don't want to do a super extensive edit on this. I just want to show that I can do something a bit better than the original edit. So let me try and do some sort of a motion blur maybe. Let's try this, and now with this I can kind of do this sort of thing. Not sure if I like this entirely, so I'm just gonna keep that for reference in case I want to go back to it, but let me try some other effects. So maybe if I do a radial blur, I like to zoom quite a bit. Let's do something really exaggerated. And again, try and just erase around him. I do like, so this is kind of cool. I'm actually liking this quite a lot. I'm going to try and duplicate this and maybe make this bigger and see what we can do here. I just want to see what I can get if I change the blend modes. Kind of liking what this is doing. Just kind of adding some color to the rest of the image. So I actually like this, but I don't like what it's doing on his face. So let me once again go back here, and we're going to try and erase just around his face. See what that does. My computer's freaking out right now. And let me try one last thing. Let me see if I can do another one of these motion blurs, but let's have it going 0 degrees this time. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Blur, motion blur. Same thing, but I want to do it. Kind of more like a ghosting effect more than anything else, but then I'd want to really does that really do anything? Not really doing much. Do like it better though. Honestly, this is kind of random, like a super random edit, but I'm not hating it. Let me throw in additional curves here and just trying to see if I can get something overall just a bit more contrasty. Maybe just a bit too dark. I think that looks good. See, just a bit more punch to it. So let me save that. We're gonna go back into, oh, okay, one last thing. This is bugging me. Just in the corner here. Okay, cool. Let's save that and see what we got. So this was the original, and then we brought it to this. And if we compare it to my edit 4 years ago, this is what we had. So pretty safe to say that this is a bit of a cooler edit now. Cool, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go back to the second image, and I'm just gonna do something real quick on this one because I don't feel like doing something super extensive, but this is the raw again, and this is the final image I ended up getting 4 years ago. So let's go back to this, and I'm thinking for this to do something a lot darker. All right, so my computer screwed up. My bad. So we're just gonna have kind of a time lapse for the second image because I ended up spending a bit more time on it than I thought I would, and my computer started acting up in the middle of it. I am sorry, my computer kind of started acting up right in the middle of the edit for the second picture. But real quick, if we look at this right here, this is the original, the raw image. And as I moved along into the Lightroom edit, I ended up with this, which is just trying to make the image more of a moody, dark kind of vibe, trying to bring out more of the darker reds and some of the lighter blues to kind of have two colors going in there. And then I brought it into Photoshop and did the same kind of effects that I did to the first one. Let's check here. Just kind of ghosting on his back here. You can see on the computer as well. And then I did some effects here in the blank space just to add a bit more texture than just the black background. Again, just to try and make it a bit more interesting. And then I took the green out of his bracelet right here, which was really kind of eye-catching and really popping out. Had I wanted to put more time into it, I probably would have clone stamped the entire wristband off, but it is 2 in the morning right now. I am tired and this is what it's gonna be. So yeah, if we want to compare this image to the edit I did in 2016, yeah, I don't even want to call this an edit. That was, anyways, it was my first photos, man. I can't be too mad, but yeah, definitely some improvement done on this one here. It's not the greatest of pictures. I mean, I wouldn't be taking a picture like this nowadays to begin with, but you know, as a picture that I already had, I'm pretty happy with the edit I was able to bring to the photo. Anyways, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. While I was scoping out for these pictures, I was able to find a few other photo sets from different shows, kind of from the same year, that I thought would be cool to kind of do the same process with. So I don't know, if this is something you'd be into, let me know in the comments below. That being said, I'm gonna close this video off. Give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.